win the crowd, and you'll win your freedom.
I will win the crowd. I will give them something they've never seen before.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Benny, and no one can stop what's coming, and that is why even the most powerful people in the world at the World Economic Forum are shaking in their boots inside of the snow in Davos. And no, it's not just because it's cold, it's because there is a giant shadow of an orange man that looms very, very large over their little globalist gathering, and that shadow, well, is perfectly described by Jamie Dimon, the president of JPMorgan Chase. JPMorgan is the largest bank on earth. Jamie Dimon is a billionaire. He's the most powerful banker in America and the most powerful banker on earth. He was talking to CNBC Financial News about Donald Trump versus Joe Biden and what that means for the country. When Jamie Dimon decided to straight up take a fat red pill on live TV. And the reporters gasped as Jamie Dimon said, hold up, wait a minute. Donald Trump's economy was incredible. Donald Trump was right about NATO, and Donald Trump was right about immigration, and Donald Trump was right about China. He also then went on a tirade against Democrats and Joe Biden for demonizing 75 million Americans who are MAGA. And the hosts of the program were like, trying to catch their breath. And it's not just because it's wintry cold outside. It's because the takes from Jamie Dimon are cold as ice. Watch this.
Great hand. But when people say MAGA, they're actually looking at people voting for Trump, and they think they're voting, and they're basically scapegoating them, that you are like him. But I don't think they're voting for Trump because of his family values. Now, if you look, just take a step back, be honest. He was kind of right about NATO, kind of right about immigration. Mm-hmm. He grew the economy quite well.
China virus.
Tax reform worked. Yeah. He was right about some of China. I don't like what he did.
No, I said China virus.
Yeah, I understand. He may have been right. And I don't like how he said things about Mexico. I don't like, but he wasn't wrong about some of these critical issues. And that's why they're voting.
So hold on real fast. This is such an important point that Jamie Dimon makes. And it's a point that we make often. People aren't voting for Trump for family values. People are well aware that Trump has had 3 marriages, right? People are well aware that Trump has a potty mouth sometimes, and that Trump goes after Rosie O'Donnell and Whoopi Goldberg, okay, and says naughty names about them. This is literally the Trump brand since the 1970s. He hasn't changed. Guy hasn't changed, and he won't change. They're not voting for Trump for family values necessarily. And Jamie Dimon's like, I don't have to like what he says to dislike the results of the policy. So you can have both. You could not like the way Trump says things, but really like his policies. Which, why can't people like take the divining rod and split that up? Like, how is that somehow worse than what we get right now? Where you have Joe Biden where nobody knows what he's saying and nobody likes his policies. How are you trying to sell that to people? Jamie Dimon continues. Watch.
And I think people should be a little more respectful of our fellow citizens. Wow. And when you guys have people up here, you should always ask the why. Not like it's a binary thing. You're supporting Trump, you're not supporting Trump. Why are you supporting Trump?
It's hard to hate 75 million of your fellow Americans. And
I agree.
It's done crazy.
And, the Democrats have done a pretty good job with the deplorables, hugging onto their Bibles and their beer and their guns. I mean, really, can we just stop that stuff and actually grow up and treat other people with respect and listen to them a little bit? And I think this negative talk about MAGA is going to hurt Biden's election campaign.
Yeah.
Wow. Can we just grow up? Says one of the richest men in America. Says the most powerful banker in the world. Says JPMorgan, the bank that's bailed out the Federal Reserve like 5 times in its history. Like the bank that actually kept America going multiple times in its history. Jamie Dimon, the only head of a major American bank that has survived over the last 30 years of chaos in the financial system. Jamie Dimon straight up dropping absolute red and black pills and white pills in the whitest of white, Switzerland, for the Davos, for the World Economic Forum. Just incredible. And the reporters have nothing to say. The journalists have nothing to say. They're just left with their jaws on the table, cupping their frozen balls. Reporters gasp live on air as America's most powerful banker praises Trump policies, defends MAGA, and blasts Biden for demonizing 75 million Americans. Grow up. Democrats need to grow up, he says. Incredible. I love this timeline. I love this timeline. Jamie Dimon is saying, effectively, like what everyone is thinking right now, which is maybe we overplayed our hand here. Like maybe we should listen to the Trump voters, and at our own peril, we should ignore them. JPMorgan boss and big Democrat donor Jamie Dimon says negative talk about MAGA will hurt Biden's campaign and admits Trump was right about a bunch of stuff. The economy grew quite well. Well, that's something that a banker should really care about, actually. Bankers should not care about diversity, equity, inclusion. That's not a bank's job. A bank is my money secure? Is my money growing? That's what a bank's job is not immigration policy or mandated diversity. That's not the job of a bank. Since when did every institution have to become some type of social engineering, left-wing, intersectional feminist college experiment? It doesn't have to be this way. So Jamie Dimon is straight up saying life wasn't really that bad under Trump. Shocking the World Economic Forum. Jamie Dimon, by the way, is joined by many of the elites at the World Economic Forum, saying that they are in panic over a Trump presidency. World business leaders say a second term will have serious issues and are scrambling to put plans in place. Trump is not at Davos, but he is all the talk of the WEF. You know, we've been there before. We survived it, and we'll see what it means, one business leader said at the conference. Davos is taking place as Donald Trump won the Iowa caucuses in a historic landslide. So other members of the elites having straight up panic attacks live on air at Davos.
And doesn't the situation on the geopolitical front concern you, though?
Oh, of course, yeah. We got elections in the U.S. We just saw the Iowa primary. It looks like a rematch from 2020. 70% of Americans don't want that, but we're going to end up with that. So, yeah, I worry about geopolitics every day. I think this will be a challenging year.
So is your working assumption as well that Donald Trump will perhaps be reelected?
I'd say it's a toss-up right now. It will be a close race, and either candidate can win, but it will be a replay of 2020, barring some unfortunate event.
And from your time so far in Davos, do you hear, are the conversations surrounding the U.S. election touching on the fact that Donald Trump might return to the White House?
Yes, of course. It's every question I've gotten as I walked up and down the promenade today is he coming back? So I think there's a lot of interest in that question. And what does that mean? And who would be in key positions?
Yeah, well, that is really important. People are taking it seriously. And it's not just the Davos elites who are backing up Donald Trump, although you have one of the most powerful men in the world, Jamie Dimon, saying that Donald Trump was not that bad, baby. Not that bad, actually, come to think of it. Orange man good. Miss me yet? You have leaders of BLM saying the same thing. Ladies and gentlemen, earlier in the year, the co-founder of Black Lives Matter, Mark Fisher, decided to switch his support and endorse Donald Trump live on Fox News. Incredible. Didn't see that coming. Waka Flocka decided to endorse Donald Trump, the rapper Waka Flocka Flame. This is the official Donald Trump War Room account on X. Just today, Meek Mill, rapper with nearly 12 million followers on X, Meek Mill, very famous rapper, straight up retweeted my account and says, wait till y'all see who the black people in poverty are voting for. What? What world do we live in? And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we have the World Economic Forum getting spit fire straight to their faces from Javier Milei, who is the president of Argentina and who is so-called Argentinian Donald Trump. He is giving a little bit of a preview of things to come. After winning in a landslide populist election, Javier Milei stuns a room of globalists at the World Economic Forum into silence by telling them that they are the problem. Ooh, baby, into my veins. Watch.
Buenas tardes.
Good afternoon.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much.
Hoy estoy acá
Today, I'm here
para decirles que Occidente
to tell you
está en
that the
peligro.
Western world is in danger.
Está en peligro porque
And it
aquellos que
is
supuestamente deben
endangered
defender
because
los valores
those
de
who are
Occidente
supposed to have to
se
defend the
encuentran
values of the
cooptados por
West
una visión del
are
mundo
co-opted
que
by a
inexorablemente conduce al
vision of the world that
en
inexorably
consecuencia
leads to
a la
socialism
pobreza.
and thereby to poverty.
Lamentablemente,
Unfortunately,
en las últimas
in
décadas,
recent decades,
motivados por algunos deseos
motivated
pensantes de
by
querer
some
ayudar al prójimo
well-meaning
y otros por el deseo de
individuals
pertenecer a una
willing
casta
to help
privilegiada,
others, and others
los
motivated
principales
by the
líderes
wish to
del mundo
belong to a
occidental
privileged
han
caste,
abandonado
the
el
main
modelo de la
leaders of the
libertad
Western world have
por distintas
abandoned the
versiones de
model
lo que
of
llamamos
freedom
colectivismo.
for different versions of what we call
Nosotros estamos acá
collectivism.
para decirles que
We're
los
here
experimentos
to tell you that
colectivistas
collectivist
nunca solo
experiments
solucionan los
are
problemas que
never
aquejan a
the
los ciudadanos del
solution
mundo,
to
sino
the
que por el
problems
contrario
that afflict
son
the
su
citizens
causa.
of the world. Rather,
Créanme,
they are the root cause.
nadie mejor que
Do believe
nosotros
me,
los argentinos para dar
no one
testimonios
better
de
placed than
estas dos
us,
cuestiones.
Argentines, to testify to these 2 points.
So that speech gave me shivers and reminded me of an incredible speech at the exact same forum in the belly of the globalist beast given by Donald Trump in the year 2018. Never forget when Trump went into the WEF, aka Globalist Lion Den, and called them out straight to their faces. To embrace the possibility of tomorrow, we must reject the prophets of doom. The media were enraged at this speech. Ladies and gentlemen, give it some love there. Check it out. A preview of the past. The past is prologue and a sign of things to come. Watch.
To embrace the possibilities of tomorrow, we must reject the perennial prophets of doom and their predictions of the apocalypse. They are the heirs of yesterday's foolish fortune tellers, and I have them, and you have them, and we all have them. And they want to see us do badly, but we don't let that happen. They predicted an overpopulation crisis in the 1960s, mass starvation in the 70s, and an end of oil in the 1990s. These alarmists always demand the same thing: absolute power to dominate, transform, and control every aspect of our lives. We will never let radical socialists destroy our economy, wreck our country, or eradicate our liberty. America will always be the proud, strong, and unyielding bastion of freedom. In America, we understand what the pessimists refuse to see: that a growing and vibrant market economy focused on the future lifts the human spirit and excites creativity strong enough to overcome any.
So if you want to see this all over again, history doesn't repeat itself, but it certainly does rhyme. You should be voting for America First in 2024. Just do it. Just do it because it's the most entertaining outcome, please. If anything, do it because it's entertaining to watch the globalists shit their pants when they get called out to their faces. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe, and stay exceedingly based.